Hey, Colab Coach here yet again to talk about some wise topics. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Cordel, and welcome, Cordell. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank
And
you.
the topic that we're going to talk about today is dating during the pandemic. Um, I'm sure this is a topic that a lot of people resonate with because there are a lot of single people out there, and also we're still going through the pandemic, and it's kind of hard to maneuver through certain things, especially with adjusting to the quote unquote new normal. So, Cordell, I just wanted to just start off with the question: how have you been dealing with dating during the pandemic? Do you feel like it's something that has been easier or harder for you?
I think it's a lot harder because, again, there's not much meeting in person. So most people, I'm assuming, are meeting like via whatever dating app they're on or social media or something like that. And then, depending on what your concerns are, like, yeah, you think like, did this person get a vaccine? Is this person affected with the coronavirus and doesn't know it? Like, there's just greater precautions that you may have would take dating in this pandemic versus like pre-pandemic. So yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that part. So just for you personally, what strategies have you figured out that works best for you, especially dating? I know that you're not married, yet, but at the same time, what are some things that you have seen that has helped out with dating and things that you have had to realize that you had to do away with altogether?
Well, like picking a spot has been a dating spot has been more difficult because different women have different I guess comfortability levels. So
Mhm.
I dated one woman who did not have a vaccine, so she was still wearing her mask everywhere, and she just was not comfortable sitting inside of a restaurant. So you got to put a little extra energy and time in finding a place that's outside that's still spreading out people, on their porch or whatever. And yeah, and that's pretty much what everybody I've dated. Some people are comfortable being inside, but they still don't like crowds. They want something more spacious. So there's a lot of due diligence and effort placed up front, and not only finding the place to date, but also finding the place that's comfortable for the person that you're dating, the woman that you're dating in my case. So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, especially now there are a lot of restaurants. Some restaurants, unfortunately, have closed down, but there are some restaurants that have opened up like patio seatings and things of that nature. But the thing about that, which I've seen also just going out to date with my wife, is that they get filled up pretty quickly. So it's
very
like, you're like, you may have found a good location for you guys to go on a date with, but if you get there, it's packed. So that makes it uncomfortable as well. So that's the biggest issue that I agree with you that I think that's one of the big issues that dating has. So just with your, I wouldn't say your list, not a list, but I'll say maybe your preferences. There you go. I think preferences is a better word. So what has your preferences as far as dating changed in the pandemic? Like as far as like maybe certain things that you may have, been okay with pre-pandemic, certain behaviors, but now you're actually looking at it a little bit more deeply. Do you feel like your preferences have changed a bit?
I guess so. Like, I consider myself to been, pretty safe and cognizant of others during the pandemic, as far as like I'm wearing a mask, not only for myself, but to protect other people. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, there is a sense of judgment, when you meet somebody and, they may not have the same view as you on
Right.
how you should handle yourself in this pandemic. So, yeah, I guess I can say that has been added, to my preference, like to have somebody with just similar thought process and ideology when it comes to like how are we supposed to navigate this pandemic, and safety measures that are supposed to be taken, that should be taken in our opinion, to make it safe for everyone. So yeah, I can definitely say that.
I mean I can imagine, especially like say as you said, you met someone who was not comfortable being in social settings, and that's how you really get to know someone. You see them in different environments, and it's kind of hard to see them in different environments. But then now it kind of makes the relationship, scenario a little bit different. And I guess
Right.
I wouldn't say more difficult, but it gives more challenge. say that.
You have to get more, you have to get creative and, again, like just more upfront effort. We're in a time where we can't just go out and just go to any place. And, some people will feel uncomfortable. So like, you may have to decide, like, let's just go take a walk in the park or whatever, just, something along those lines. Let's go, on a hike or whatever, there's other things you can do. And so, that's pretty much what this pandemic is, I guess, forcing me and probably a whole bunch of other men and women, like just to figure out just things out of the box that can be more comfortable for everyone. So.
Yeah, I agree. That's very, very powerful advice right there. So I do want to ask you this question, I guess a personal question for you, like what made you want to continue dating during the pandemic? I mean, because it's easy for us to, easily say, okay, well, the pandemic is going on, I'll just stay to myself. I'll just be single forever. Some people might even think that way. So what made you personally feel like, okay, I'm still going to at least try to date,
Well, so like, I guess everybody took the pandemic differently, right? But for me, like, with everything shutting down, you seen, thousands of people dying, every day or getting sick every day. You realize like life is not infinite, life is short. And that, for me, I just thought about personal things like what would I regret if something was going to happen to me today or tomorrow. And it would be, not giving my all to a significant other, not really putting myself out there to, find the one, quote unquote. So that's what made me, kind of, want to get back, into dating and not let the pandemic stop me because, life is short. You don't know, when your time is up. I hate to be morbid, but yeah.
That's the reality of it all. Like, sometimes you have to be realistic with the sense that you don't know what tomorrow's gonna hold, and you don't know what variant is gonna produce, what variant down the letter scheme that they're doing that's gonna have an impact on someone, so or on the population entirely. So yeah, I mean, I think that's very noble of you to actually take a step and say, you know what, I'm still gonna try to date and meet people and things of that nature.
Right.
How has the experience been for you? Would you say that you were happy that you made that leap to continue to go into the dating world, or have you become more reserved because of
Well, I'm happy that I made the leap into dating. Like, again, like, yeah, there's some upfront effort that, is placed on, I guess me when it comes to finding the spot or, figuring out a move or whatever. But, for the most part, I enjoy meeting new people and getting to know, different people. And it's fun, as long as it's safe. Like, again, like if you have, if you're not comfortable being inside, you can sit outside. If you're not comfortable sitting outside, you can just do something completely remote from other people. It's just, I just wouldn't stop that that significant portion of, I didn't feel right stopping a significant portion of my life, for a pandemic, being that, you just, again, you don't know what tomorrow holds. So,
yeah. Like, hey, as I said, I commend you for that because it's very easy to say, well, the pandemic is going on. I'll leave the dating world for other people. Yeah,
right.
yeah, like but it takes a lot of effort, as you said, to actually put yourself out there, not only just to date, but also date during the pandemic. So I guess one of my last questions I have for you is like, what would you say to someone that's kind of on the fence of dating, like as far as they feel like they have that need to reach out to other people and start building those relationships in their life, but they're still kind of on the fence of maybe they have the fear of getting corona, or they have the fear of just meeting the right people and it making it even harder because of the virus. What would you say to someone to, I guess, encourage them to step into the dating world?
Yeah, I would encourage them to take the step. Move forward, and go at your own pace. You don't have to just, leap into, being in an uncomfortable situation. Like, take your time, talk to somebody. You can meet. There's plenty of parks that have like food trucks outside that you can just, have dates on. There's festivals you can go to where it doesn't have to be a lot of people there. Like, again, you can just think outside of the box. But I would say don't stop. That's like something you desire. Take a step forward. It don't have to be a big step, but take a step forward. If it's just texting the person that you like, or sliding into the DMs or whatever. Like do what you have to do. So
yeah, Hey, there's nothing else I can say about that. I think you said it all. So Cordell, I do appreciate you taking the time out to talk to me about this. So how can people reach you if they do want to slide in your DMs?
My IG is Cordel, CORDL_W. So yeah, hit me on IG.
Awesome. Hey, I mean, you still single. You're not cuffed now yet. You're not cuffed yet. So hey, it's all fair game at this moment. But in all serious, thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate it for having this conversation. And I know someone watching this in the future is definitely gonna get the information and take it to heart and start their dating, even though there is a pandemic. So
I hope so. Yeah, that'd be great.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank you so much. I appreciate it and have a good one.
All right, thank you. You too.
Yeah.
Wow.